Hi everybody, it's me, Egil Thorsson, with
Bragi, Magnarsson.
Okay, so what we're talking about today?
Well, today it's another folktale chat episode, and we do love these little folktale chats.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be chatting about the folktale Little Red Riding Hood.
Ah, it's interesting that. It's...
Yes, so I think, do you want to just tell a brief, quick edition of it for folk?
Well, do you want me to tell the edition that people know today,
Yes.
or the old original?
Well, we could tell the old original, and then you could talk about the modern version.
Okay. Once upon a time, long ago,
Yes.
in a land far, far away, there was a big forest. And Little Red Riding Hood lived in a village on the outside of it. Her granny lived deep inside the forest. So she went along, skippity hop, skippity hop, skippity hop. Now in the forest was a big wolf. Woof.
Woof.
And
Indeed.
he saw that and thought,
Lunch.
yeah, it certainly is.
Free lunch.
And Little Red Riding Hood went skipping along, knocked on the door. Who is it? It's Granny. Who do you think it is? It's Red Riding Hood. Who do you think it is? And she did this day in, day out, and the wolf was watching. So when Little Red Riding Hood went back to the village, he knocks on the door. Who is it? Have you thought about life? No, he came, opened the door and swallowed Granny whole.
Yum, 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 yum.
Then he put on a night dress, her glasses,
Little hat.
and a hat. Little Red Riding Hood comes again, knocks on the door. Thank you. Who is it? It's Little Red Riding Hood, she said. Who do you think? Come in. And she comes in
Actually.
and says, cool, Granny, what big eyes you've got. All the
Indeed.
better to see you with. Whoa, what big ears you've got. I'll be personal. All the better to hear you come in, my dear. What big teeth you've got. All the better to eat you. Come. And she swallows Little Red Riding Hood. The end.
It's a sad tale, isn't it?
Cautionary tale. Now, the one that most people think of is, we'll take it from gulp, Little Red Riding Hood's been eaten. Along comes the woodman, chops the wolf in half, out pops Little Red Riding Hood. Apparently Granny's been digested. But
Oh.
that is up to date, brought up to date.
Yeah.
I think basically doing that negates the message that they were trying to get across. Don't go into the woods on your own, or, be careful.
Well, let's face it, there you were, there's Egil when he's married, and he's got a host of children. And next door to where he lives is a big wood. And in that wood is bears and wolves.
Wildcats.
Wildcats, let's not forget the wildcats.
Oh, yeah.
But, what would you be telling your children to keep them away from that wood? You'd be telling them scary tales.
Big bad wolves. I mean, let's face it, wolves are big. I don't know if I've seen wolves, and they make Alsatians look like chihuahuas.
Oh, indeed.
So you imagine as a child, there's even bigger.
But why a wood? That's one of the first things I thought about it,
Well, most of the areas around that, I mean, woods were more common than they are today, and bigger. And, of course, the habitat is just great for predators. And, of course, humanity, we tend to get a bit complacent about things. And that's when the wolves and animals like that strike out. So, yeah, I mean, we haven't even mentioned bands of bandits that live there as well.
So you're more likely to get attacked in a wood than you're on a field.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Hence why this is a wooded themed tale.
Well, I mean, nobody officially owns the woods apart from maybe a king or a lord. But you can exercise control over a village, even a field. But you can't over the woods.
So, I mean, that's very interesting. So let's talk about the main characters. So first of all, you got Red herself.
Yeah. Now, Red Riding Hood, why is she wearing a red hood? I don't know.
Well, I think she's wearing a red hood because red was the most common colour in the day, I do believe. It's one of the most available dyes.
Well, you could use madder, which produces a pink. The red itself, I don't know. But maybe our perception of red is different from their perception.
Yeah, well, I definitely read in the comments from Morton Brunei when he talks about red wool being more available, hence
Fair enough.
Red Riding Hood. And then again, you got a mother, but a mother kind of plays a back role, not an important character in this story.
Well, grandmother, yeah.
Well, a mother.
Oh, a mother.
Because the mother gives her the food and tells her to go to the grandma. You know.
Again, it's focusing on Red Riding Hood is the victim, but she's also not taking her eye off the ball, so to speak. Anyone else would have said, somebody would have gone with her.
Yeah.
Or she would have gone a different route. I don't know.
Would you let your daughter go in the wood on her own?
No.
1,000 years ago?
Not even today, mate. You look at the woods around here.
Oh, there are woods around here.
Yeah, and
luckily.
I wouldn't want my daughter or my son to go anywhere near it.
And so why... So let's talk about the wolf. Why is it a wolf and not a bear or a cat?
Well, wolves are Now, this could be transition from paganism to Christianity, because the wolf, that Odin had 2 wolves by him. Was it Greedy Guts and Gobbler? I think they were called.
I forget now.
Yeah, but he had 2 wolves. It's something like that. So wolves, it's showing that the old faith taking on the new naivety. I don't know. You could read it that way.
So let's say the 3 creatures, the bear, the wolf and the cat, which is the most common in the Dark Ages in England.
Well, the bear, the wolf would be more common. Then I would say wildcats they do tend, well, now they're in the north of Scotland, but bear in mind, we're talking of when Sherwood Forest would cover most of Derbyshire and Staffordshire and Nottinghamshire.
Yes, we often forget that.
Yeah, it's a huge place in proportion to the size of the country. And wildlife there, you took it as granted. The world was a much more dangerous place than it is today.
And, it's like the wolf is the villain, but who's the hero? Is Red the hero?
I don't think there is. I think this is the point.
I was thinking that. Yeah. There is no hero character.
There isn't a hero. It's saying this girl has taken her eye off the ball and she's paying the price. Learn from her mistakes. And the wolves, well, wolves are dangerous. Keep away from them.
Just let's go back to Red a minute. Whilst I think about this, is that the fact that her cloak, she had a red cloak and a red hood. And both were made by a grandma. So that's quite interesting. Why were they not made by a mother? Grandmas like to make things for the grandchildren naturally.
Well, there's another thing as well. Why is grandma stuck out in the woods and they're in a village?
I'm going to get to that. So let's talk about the grandma. It's a very interesting point. Why does the grandma live so remote, far away? Why not she live in the village next door or in the same house?
Well, she probably, we're talking Viking times, she would have been in the house. And she would have outranked Red's mother. She would have been like the matriarch of the house.
Yes.
Now, we could say that maybe she was a caster of runes.
Well, perhaps she was a witch.
A wise woman, yeah.
Or, you say, a seer. Yes. But where was her servants? She lived alone. That's another thing I thought quite unusual, because did people live alone?
I suppose they did.
Some
like
people
today,
did.
I live on my own. There's no reason to suggest that they didn't.
Where's the granddad? Perhaps he died in a battle a long time beforehand.
Well, life expectancy I'm assuming it dates from the Viking age, would be 40. You're doing well.
Yeah, I believe this is I think the origin is Germanic. Yeah. So it's an old German folk tale. So probably a medieval folk tale.
Yeah.
Certainly has much older origins. Because let's face it, this is the kind of tale you would tell your children to keep them out of the wood at night or in the daytime. So, I think there's a later version with a woodcutter. Do you want to explain that to the audience?
Well, the woodcutter comes in later on. I'm assuming it's about the 19th century.
Could be.
Please tell us if you know for certain. But it changes the story, the dynamics, because when the woodcutter cuts the wolf open and out comes Little Red Riding, the lesson hasn't been learnt.
Is it not correcting the PC-ness of it that it's, Little Red gets et, So therefore, they're changing that dynamic of the tale. She gets rescued,
I suppose you could.
and therefore the child doesn't die.
I mean, if you want to be sort of highfalutin about it, you could say the wolf represents corruption and evil, and she falls into that, but the woodcutter saves her by killing off the wolf. I don't know, it's perhaps a bit over-egging the pudding, but I think it's probably now our sensitivities are, you notice all along. I mean, even in my lifetime, I'm considered quite insensitive at times, and it's not. That's the way I was brought up.
Well, of course so.
So maybe this was a way of... It's changed it. Originally, it was to frighten children, to say, look, pay attention. If you don't, this happens. But they sort of become more forgiving. And it's not surprising that by the time you've got the woodcutter, the trees have gone.
Well, perhaps the woodcutter is a later version and more of a fairy tale, a nursery telling version. But let's face it, if you've got a Victorian nanny, you know, you're living in the Victorian age, you got some money, you can have a nanny, you don't really want her telling your children scary stories where children die, would you really?
It's also significant he's a woodcutter because the woods are diminishing.
Yes.
And you could see that as a place where you can't control. The woodcutter's chopping the trees down, giving back control.
Or is it partly symbolism to the fact that the land is changing?
Yeah, quite well.
Yeah, so overall I think it's a very interesting folk tale. So before we finish this little chat, let's just talk about the origin and why we're not really talking about the origin. Because, fair enough, before we filmed this video, you know, we could have gone online and we could have read about the origin and found out a little bit more. But by doing that, I think we're going to take away from our thoughts and our processes. So the reason why we don't really go into the origin too much in these videos is because we want to keep that rawness of what our thoughts are. And then in a later video, we can actually do a video within this series on the actual origin and talk about that. So that's why we don't talk about the origin too much.
Also, people have an opinion and let's hear it, you know. I mean, we may be way off mark. And if we are, tell us. Leave us a comment.
Oh, we do love your comments, and you can leave a comment on a hashtag Folktale chat, and don't forget to use capital letters at each beginning of each word. That'll be Folktale, capital letter, and a chat on the C for chat.
Or press the subscription bell and...
Well, you always get that wrong. You don't just click the bell. You've got to subscribe first, and then you get the option to click the bell. You don't click the bell to subscribe, you click the subscription bar, or if you're on your mobile phone watching, you tap your mobile. We often forget that. You know, I'm a smartphone user. You looked at that before, but you forget. Hey, that's the way life is.
Just part of me charm.
It is.
Okay.
So, I think for now it's the end of this video. Egil's got a sandwich to eat. Yum yum.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink some coffee, and we'll see you in the next Folktale chat, which will be on either the Builder Theme and Folklore Thursday, or it will be on another Folktale, The Three Little Pigs. I was thinking there.
Ah, right.
Right. So goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Care. Bye.